नहमदहु व नुसल्ली व नुसल्लिमु अला रसूलिहिल करीम। अम्मा बअद फ़अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। या अय्युहल्लज़ीना आमनु तक़ुल्लाह व कूनू मअस सादिक़ीन। सदक़ल्लाहु मौलाना अज़ीम व बल्लगना रसूलुहुल नबियुल अमीनुल मकीनुल करीम। व नहनु अला ज़ालिका मिनश शाहिदीन वश-शाकिरीन वल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन। औफ़ी आदम बमने बेसनो सामा मददे क़िबलाए दी मददे काबाए ईमा मददे क़ादिरी यमन अराए या औफ़ी आदम निज़नम तमज़ शेख अहमद रज़ा खां क़ुतब आलम निज़नम सैयदी या मुर्शदी शाह मुस्तफ़ा खां ज़िंदाबाद। मसलक सरकार आला आला हज़रत ज़िंदाबाद। या इलाही मसलक अहमद रज़ा खां ज़िंदाबाद। हिफ़्ज़ नामों से रिसालत का जो ज़िम्मेदार है सैयदी या मुर्शदी शाह मुस्तफ़ा खां ज़िंदाबाद। हामिल फैज़ रज़ाए मुस्तफ़ा इमदाद कुन सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि नबिय्यिल उम्मी व आलिहि सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम। सलातुन व सलामुन अलैका या सय्यदी या सनदी या हबीबी या तबीबी या रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम व अला आलिका व अस्हाबिका या रहमतल लिल आलमीन। All praise is due to Almighty Allah. Durud and salams upon the most perfect, exalted and glorified of Allah's creation, Sayyiduna Maulana Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. His blessings, salutations upon the Anbiya Karam, Ahl Bayt Athhar, Sahaba Karam, Khulafa Rashidin, Tabi'in, Tabi' Tabi'in, Aimam Mujtahideen, Awliya Kamilin, and all those who follow the path until the last day. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His infinite mercy and for the wasila of the beloved Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam for affording us the opportunity to congregate to Salatul Jummah and prostrate in His most exalted court. Before continuing, let us all come together collectively recite the word of Allah wa salli ala wa nabiyana Maulana Muhammad wa ala alihi wa Maulana Muhammad wa ashabihi wa aksanta bil huda wa al-huda shifa'un wa saradiya wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam wa abadan sarmada। बयाहों की ज़बान से मर्तबा सिद्दीक़ अकबर का, बयाहों की ज़बान से मर्तबा सिद्दीक़ अकबर का, यार गार महबूब खुदा सिद्दीक़ अकबर का। With which tongue can I describe this distinction of Siddiq Akbar? With which tongue can I describe the distinction of Siddiq Akbar? In the cave, Allah's beloved is the companion of Siddiq Akbar. In the cave, Allah's beloved is the companion of Siddiq Akbar. And Hafiz Sharif read just now, Subhanallah, Ali hai uske dushman. Ali hai उसके दुश्मन और वो दुश्मन अली का है। अली है उसके दुश्मन और वो दुश्मन अली का है, जो दुश्मन अक्ल का दुश्मन हुआ सिद्दीक़ अकबर का। मौला Ali is his enemy. He has become Ali's open opposition. Mawla Ali is his enemy. He has become Ali's open opposition. The adversary of intellect became the opposition of Abu Bakr Siddiq. He is the enemy of his aql. If he wants to make enmity with Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radi Allahu ta'ala anh, because this is that Siddiq Akbar ke lutaya raah haq mein ghar kai baar is mohabbat mein, lutaya raah haq mein ghar kai baar is mohabbat mein ke lut kar Hasan घर बन गया सिद्दीक़ अकबर का। Many times in the true path, he sacrificed his home in love and devotion. Many times in the true path, he sacrificed his home in love and devotion. Hassan, so many sacrifices gave birth to the mansion of Abu Bakr. So many sacrifices gave birth to the mansion of Abu Bakr. Nobody's mansion is better than the mansion of Abu Bakr and Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. All of us are waiting for our palace in Jannah. Abu Bakr and Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu got their palace beside the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They got their palace beside the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There is no piece of land. There is no piece of land and there is no property in the skies and in the earth that is more valuable than the land on which rests the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. property. Jannat itself desires to make Didar of Medina. Jannat itself desires to make Didar to see Medina Sharif. This is the shan of Medina. What is the shan of Medina Wale Aka? What is the shan of the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam? And how valuable is that land on which is resting the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Because Jannat got its beauty and its adornment and it was decorated through the husn of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So there is nobody who has a better palace than Hazrat Abu Bakr and Umar beside the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And thereafter, in that court, I'm talking after the Anbiya Karam alayhi salatu wasalam. And thereafter in that court, nobody has a better land and better zameen than those Sahaba Ikram and the blessed ones that are lying in Jannatul Baqi. Samajh rahe? Siddique Akbar, Allahu Akbar. You want to talk about Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq Radi Allahu Anhu? You want to talk about Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq Radi Allahu Anhu? Don't ask me. What can I tell you? What can somebody 1400 years down the line tell you about that personality who is the most exalted in the creation of Allah after the Anbiya Ikram alayhi salatu wa taslim? What is somebody 1400 years? Why are you only going to narrate? Let's ask somebody 1400 years before. Let's ask somebody, we can ask a lot. But let's ask Hazrat Sayyidina Ammar ibn Yasir radiallahu anhu. Let's ask Hazrat Sayyidina Ammar ibn Yasir radiallahu anhu. Tell us, who is Siddique Akbar? Oh Ammar ibn Yasir, tell us, who is Abu Bakr Siddiq? Hazrat Ammar ibn Yasir radiallahu anhu reports a hadith. And this narration, Imam Ishq Muhabbat, Mujaddid Deen o Millat, Ashah Imam Ahmad Raza Khan Fazl Barelvi radiallahu anhu, quoted in the 21st volume of his Fatawa Razviya Sharif. Samajh rahe? That Hazrat Sayyiduna Ammar ibn Yasir radiallahu anhu reports that once the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, we are asking Ammar ibn Yasir. Ammar ibn Yasir is telling us that what the Nabi said. Ammar ibn Yasir radiallahu anhu says that once the beloved Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Jibreel alayhi salam just came to me. That Jibreel alayhi salam just came to me, he appeared to me. So I said to him, who said to him? Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that, Hazrat Ammar ibn Yasir says that the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that Jibreel just appeared to me, he came to my court. Beli kaye yaar unko chain aa jata agar. Beli kaye yaar unko chain aa jata agar. बार बार आते न यूं जिब्रील सिदरा छोड़कर. If Jibreel alayhi salam was comfortable being distant from the Nabi physically, he would not have left Sidra so many times to come in the court of Rasulullah. He wanted to come and meet the beloved Rasul many, many times. So Jibreel alayhi salam, the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam is saying, Jibreel Amin alayhi salatu wasalam just appeared to me, he came to me. And when he came to me, I said to him, oh Jibreel, mention before me the virtues, in other words, the excellence, the fadilat, the fadail of Umar ibn Khattab. Talk about the Sahaba. Hazrat Ammar ibn Yasir is saying that the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Jibreel alayhi salam just descended, he came to me, and I said to him, oh Jibreel, Umar Khattab ki fazail mujhe suna, mere samne suna. Oh Jibreel, in front of me, before me, in my presence, tell me about the virtues of Umar ibn Khattab. So Hazrat Sayyidina Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, if I mention before you the virtues of Umar radi Allahu anhu, listen carefully. इस बात को सुन के अगर किसी का दिल झूमे नहीं तो कोई खराबी है. If after listening to what I am going to tell you from this riwayat, from this narration, if your heart doesn't go into a state of spiritual ecstasy even for a moment, something is wrong. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said to Jibreel alayhi salam when he descended, "O Jibreel, before me mention the virtues of Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu anhu." In other words, Nabi is teaching you that Jibreel has come to the Nabi. The Nabi is saying, praise my Sahaba in my presence. Praise my Sahaba, Jibreel. You want to praise? Talk about my Sahaba. Nabi could have said the shan of Abu Bakr. Nabi could have said the shan of Umar, and he did. But today, Nabi is saying, oh Jibreel, you say. Let the world know कि जमीन वाले सिर्फ तारीफ नहीं करते हैं, आसमान वाले भी तारीफ करते हैं. Not only those in the zameen are praising the Sahaba, the ones in the heavens are praising him as well. So he said, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, tell me Jibreel, tell me something. Tell me about the virtues of Umar ibn Khattab. The Nabi didn't say Abu Bakr. The Nabi didn't ask about Abu Bakr Siddique radiallahu anhu. He said, tell me the virtues of Umar. But look at Jibreel alayhi salam. He knows why the Nabi asked. Because he's in the court of the Nabi. He says, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, tell me about the virtues of HAZRAT Umar Farooq radiallahu, Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu ta'ala anhu. He says, Ya Rasulallah, subhanallah. He says, Ya Rasulallah, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, if I were to mention before you the virtues of Umar, if I were to mention before you the virtues of Umar, which stretches from now till the time for as long as Noor alayhi salam lived amongst his ummah, if I had to praise before you Umar so much that it will stretch to the zamana when Noor alayhi salam was amongst his people, then Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, I will not complete the praises of Umar Farooq. Leave the error. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go into the duration and the error between there and there. Just think that Noor alayhi salam was approximately 950 years on this dunya. Talk about that zaman, leave the gap space. If I have to praise him, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and tell you his virtues, then if it has to stretch between now and there, when Noor alayhi salam was amongst his people, it would not end. Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it will not end. Nabi asked about who? Umar Farooq radiallahu anhu. Umar ibn Khattab. Look at what Jibreel alayhi salam is saying. Look at what Jibreel alayhi salam is saying. That if he praises and he speaks about the virtues of Umar, then it will stretch up to the zaman of Noor alayhi salam and it will still not end. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked about Umar, and Hazrat Sayyidina Jibreel then says, and indeed, after telling this here to Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, indeed, Abu Bakr, indeed, subhanallah. He says that indeed, Umar is only one virtuous deed. Umar is only one virtuous deed from the deeds of Abu Bakr. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Umar Farooq's praises, that if it has to be mentioned, then if you stretch up to the zamana when Noor alayhi salam was amongst his people, it will not be completed. And Jibreel is saying, alayhi salam, Jibreel alayhi salatu wasalam is saying that, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, but Umar is only one virtuous deed वो उमर सिर्फ एक नेकी है, सिर्फ एक नेकी है अबू बकर की नेकियों में से. He is only one deed. So if this is how much can be said about Hazrat Sayyidina Abu Bakr Umar Farooq radiallahu anh, then bayan को किस जबान से मर्तबा सिद्दीक़ अकबर का. Now you know when Ala Hazrat and his awlad and his brothers wrote kalam, they wrote what was in the basis of the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They showed the manifestation of that which was in proper and blessed authentic narrations and blessed words. Remember and understand, this is Sayyidina Siddique Akbar. This is Siddique Akbar. This is that Siddique Akbar. And I'm going to end with this. How many times, I was going to give you the whole narration for barakat, but it's going to take time because we've now kept some times. We have heard many times about Hazrat Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala an, the hadith that is narrated from Hazrat Sayyidina Zayd ibn Arqam radiyallahu an. The hadith that is narrated from Hazrat Sayyidina Zayd ibn Arqam radiyallahu ta'ala an, which he narrated from his father. Okay? That when Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, when Hazrat Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiallahu anh had told about the time when Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, give what you can for the sake of Allah's deen. This waqia, no matter how many times you revive. What happened? Hazrat Sayyidina, at the time, what did Hazrat Sayyidina Umar Farooq said? He said, today I realized, I'm being brief, I'm giving you the gist, not the actual narration, time is not going to permit. What did he say? He said to himself in his heart, dil mein kaha, to himself, that you know, always Abu Bakr sabqat le jate hain. He always ends up beating me in giving for the sake of Allah's deen. Today I've got quite a bit of wealth. So today I'm going to win. You see, you and I compete who buys a better car. Let's be honest. You and I compete. If my brother's got 2-room house, I will build 5-room. We don't build because we need the 5-room sometimes. If my brother can buy 10 rand shoe for his child, I'll buy 10,000 rand shoe. This is what we compete for. But they competed for the love of Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They strive for the love of Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, درود شريف اللهم صل على سيدنا ونبينا مولانا محمد وعلى ال سيدنا مولانا محمد واصحابه بارك وسلم. So Hazrat Umar Farooq thought this in his heart, and he went home and he brought whatever. Then Hazrat Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq also arrives. He brought whatever. Abu Bakr, Umar Farooq didn't tell what he was thinking in his heart to anybody. All the Sahaba gave. Whoever came, many Sahaba gave what they gave. But the Nabi particular sallallahu alaihi wasallam asks, oh Umar, what have you brought? Subhanallah, subhanallah. Subhanallah. By how all the other Sahaba gave. Subhanallah, subhanallah. But Nabi asked Umar, Umar, what have you brought? Subhanallah, subhanallah. Umar says, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, radiyallahu anhu, he says, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, today, whatever I am worth today, कौन करेगा? कौन करेगा? Who will do? Whatever I am worth, I've left half for my family, and Ya Rasulullah, I've brought half on your command for the deen of Allah. Who's prepared to give half of their wealth for Allah's deen? Who's prepared to give half of their wealth for Allah's deen? To take 2.5% zakat और लोगों की हालत खराब हो रही and complaining, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Yet it is that which will fortify your wealth by the command of Allah. He says, Ya Rasulullah, today whatever I am worth, I have left half for my family, because it's their haqq, obviously. And I brought half, Ya Rasulullah, on your command for the sake of your deen, and for the sake of the deen of Allah. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam then turns to Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Umar didn't say what was in the heart. Nabi knows. Why? The Prophet did say, Huzur jante. The Nabi knows. The Nabi asked. He looks at Abu Bakr. Why? Because Sayyidina Umar Farooq radiallahu needed to be told also. Umar, you are doing, but Abu Bakr is Abu Bakr. Says Abu Bakr, what did you bring? What did you leave? परवाने को चिराग है बुलबुल को फूल बस परवाने को चिराग है बुलबुल को फूल बस सिद्दीक के लिए है खुदा का रसूल बस सिद्दीक के लिए है खुदा का रसूल बस the moth is attracted to the flame while the nightingale is attracted to the flower. The moth is attracted to the flame while the nightingale is attracted to the flower. But for Siddiq Akbar, beloved is Allah's Rasul, he is sufficient. Allah's beloved Rasul is sufficient. All can go. Hazrat Siddiq Akbar, what did you bring? Hazrat Siddiq Akbar says, Ya Rasulullah, I brought everything. Umar Farooq left half. He said, today I am going to be the one. In the love they were doing it, not in enmity. They had no enmity against each other. Amongst them they only had love. Amongst them they only had love. So you must love every one of them. Every Sahabi of Rasulullah. He said that today in his heart, he said, today Umar, you are going to be there. Why they wanted? Why they wanted to be in the front? So that they get the dua of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Not for name and fame. Not for show. But Nabi, when he asked Umar, he said, I brought half, I left half. Massive sacrifice. But Hazrat Umar Farooq, Hazrat Abu Bakr sitting, Ya Rasulullah, saying, Ya Rasulullah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I brought everything. Abu Bakr, you brought everything. What have you left in your house? He said, Allah and His beloved Rasul. Allah and His beloved Rasul. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and their narrations would say, and there are those who will say, this is a weak narration, and this chain is weak, and this. In Fadail, all is allowed. Samajh rahe? Says, further narration, that when Siddiq Akbar left the court of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he even sent the robes that he was wearing. He even sent the robe that he was wearing. And then when he returned in the court of the beloved Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Siddiq Akbar came with a blanket or a sheet or a sack, which was so small that it could not go over him completely. It could only close him from the front. But how would he close it? He couldn't find anything. There was no button left in his house. He didn't have a single button. He gave everything away. So do you know what Siddiq Akbar did? He took thorns. And he closed the front with the thorns. He closed it. He used the thorns as a button. There are numerous different narrations. He used the thorn as buttons to close the front. Why? Siddiq Akbar was worried about the jism and the satar. The importance of closing that part of the body which should be covered. We got so much clothes, but the men still walk with the short pants. You allow your wife to wear a skirt and walk on the street. Go back in the zaman of Siddiq Akbar. Go and learn what is adab. Go and learn what is Islami libas. And know that we will be held accountable in the court of Allah. Hazrat Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu comes dressed in that rag, tattered and old libas, with thorns to close the front. Allahu Akbar. This is Abu Bakr Siddiq. And as Abu Bakr Siddiq is on his way, Jibreel alayhi salam descends in the court of the beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And the Nabi looks at Jibreel alayhi salam smiling. He says, Jibreel, what happened? Jibreel, what are you wearing? Jibreel was wearing a rag. Jibreel was wearing a sack. The blanket with thorns closing the front. With thorns closing the front. Nabi said, Jibreel, what you are doing? Why in this libas today? Why in this garb today? He says, Ya Rasulullah, your Siddiq has left his home dressed in this garb today. Your Siddiq has left his home dressed in this garb today because he gave everything for the pleasure of Allah on the command of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah commanded Jibreel and every angel in the sky, Ya aaj yawm Siddiq mana. Today celebrate Siddiq Akbar. Today pay tribute to Siddiq Akbar. Today all of you will dress like Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radi Allahu ta'ala anhu. And every angel in the sky. So I am saying, when those in the heavens can celebrate the personality of Siddiq Akbar, why can't we on the earth celebrate Siddique Akbar? And when those in the sky are celebrating one ada of Siddique Akbar, tell me, are they not celebrating the Mawlud of Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? And why then, if those can celebrate Abu Bakr Siddiq, why cannot we celebrate the master of Abu Bakr Siddiq, Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? This is Siddique Akbar. These are the Sahaba Ikram. This is the love that they have. This is the maqam and the excellence that they have in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Love them. Love them. Allah's beloved Nabi will love you. Love them. Allah's Nabi will love you. And when Allah's Nabi loves you, what happens? قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهُ. Allah will love you. You will become the beloveds of Allah. Follow the way of the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The pious. Allah keep us with iman. Let us lead this one with iman. Those who are ill, Allah the shifa. Those who are passed away, Allah show them in Jannah. Those brother Farooq Hussain from Yemen asked me, our Aslam Bhai Cook's brother, to make dua for their mother who is extremely ill. Allah Ta'ala grant Shifa Kamil Ajil, and all those that are ill in the Ahl-Sunnah wal Jama'ah Shifa. Many people have asked me to make dua. I can't remember all of them now. May Allah bless them all with Shifa. Those that are going through any calamity and difficulty, Allah remove them from the calamity of difficulty. Those that are passing in Sunnah, Allah exalt them in Jannah. I've taken 4 minutes more of your time today. Short halqa zikr, and inshallah,